Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get straight into a topic that's causing quite a stir. A crypto expert is making a serious claim that the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, is deliberately dumping XRP to suppress its price. This accusation comes at a time when XRP is facing a gradual price decline, which seems confusing given that its fundamental news has actually been pretty positive lately. So, let's talk about what's being said, look at the evidence presented, and see if this theory holds any water. The core of this story comes from a crypto expert known as Pompeius. In a recent thread on the social media platform X, Pompeius suggested that Binance has been actively placing sell pressure on XRP. The argument is that this is done to suppress its breakout potential. According to Pompeius, the exchange's business model revolves around retail traders and what they call creating artificial liquidity drains. The expert's reasoning is quite fascinating. They argue that XRP poses a unique threat because of its utility in cross-border payments. This utility, they suggest, could potentially undermine the traditional market-making strategies that large exchanges like Binance have relied on for years. Pompeius also points out a recurring pattern they've noticed. They claim that whenever Ripple secures a major positive headline, like the conclusion of its lawsuit with the SEC, sudden and significant waves of sell pressure hit the XRP markets immediately afterward. Pompeius argues that this is no coincidence, but rather a deliberate effort to maintain the token as just another altcoin. This view is supported by another crypto analyst, Pepeso, who brings another example to the table. Pepeso highlighted that Binance offloaded more than $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum in just 1 week. Crucially, the report states that these transactions were funneled through the market-making firm Wintermute, allegedly to obscure Binance's own role in the sales. The theory is that this kind of coordinated, large-scale selling creates the illusion of organic market pressure, which can trigger a cascade of liquidation for traders using leverage. Similar patterns have been spotted in other markets, like Solana. Now, critics of exchanges argue that these actions are a way to increase profits by forcing leverage traders to liquidate their positions, a painful event reminiscent of what happened in 2024 when many traders lost significant amounts of money in a single day. But let's look at the current state of XRP. The data shows that over the past week, the XRP price has declined by about 4%. This is happening even while the broader crypto market has been staging a modest recovery. We can also see on-chain metrics that suggest a cooling-off period. For instance, the number of active addresses on the XRP ledger has decreased from approximately 45,000 in mid-July to around 20,000 currently. This slowdown in network activity often suggests that investors are becoming more cautious, which naturally makes the token more susceptible to any external selling pressure. However, and this is a very important however, this is only one side of the story. Despite these claims and the price pressure, there's also conflicting on-chain data. As we've discussed in previous reports, large investors, often called whales, have actually been accumulating XRP. They added approximately 340 million tokens over the last 2 weeks. That is a sign of strong confidence from big players. Furthermore, the fundamental adoption news for Ripple's technology continues to be strong. For example, the Chinese supply chain giant Linklogies recently announced it was tapping the XRP ledger to support its global finance platform. This is a major step forward for the ecosystem in Asia and points to real-world utility. So where does this leave us? We have a serious accusation from experts like Pompeius, pointing to patterns and past behaviors with other assets like Ethereum. It's a theory that certainly makes you think about the immense power and influence held by large exchanges. On the other hand, we have concrete data showing whale accumulation and continued institutional adoption, which suggests a strong long-term belief in XRP's value. The price decline could also be explained by a natural market correction and a shift in general investor sentiment, as shown by the Crypto Fear and Greed Index moving into neutral from greed. The critical question we're left with is this. Is the price action a result of natural market forces and a temporary pullback, or is there a deliberate effort to cap its growth? It's incredibly difficult to say for certain. While the pattern described is interesting, proving intentional manipulation is a complex task. What we could do is stay informed, look at both the on-chain data and the fundamental news, and make our own careful assessments. I'd love to know what you think about this. Does the expert's theory seem plausible to you? Or do you believe the price movement is just part of the natural market cycle? Let's have a conversation about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this discussion, please give the video a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.